Jonathan Taylor is on fire. He has over 100 yards in 5 of the last 6 games, has eclipsed 1,000 yards already, and has catapulted himself into MVP talks. While Taylor is great on his own, Frank Reich's run game scheme is also to thank. In their last 4 games, the Colts have run almost every run scheme you can think of. Outside zone, stretch, split zone, power, counter, trap, and toss all made appearances. They give a lot of different looks, but the Colts base out of zone running. Reich particularly loves to run wide zone weak. He then creates change of pace plays to outflank the defense and create new running lanes for Jonathan Taylor. Taylor himself is the perfect fit for Reich's run game. He's a patient zone runner, understands how to set up blocks, and rides his pulling guards and attacks lanes in front of him. Running weak means running away from the formational strength. Typically, that results in the Colts running at the 1 shade or 2-eye technique. In the NFL, it's all about matchups and angles. By running weak, the Colts are giving their guys a better angle to pick up the Mike linebacker on this play. With a defensive end and a wide 9 to the play side, the offensive tackle kicks them out. That leaves a combo on the 2-eye. The center's aiming point is to put the screws of his helmet into the screws of the defender's helmet to attempt to overtake. The guard is helping the center with the shoulder as they climb to the linebacker number 52. Where the angles come into play is with the backside guard. That guard is also giving a shoulder backside to help to overtake from his tackle, but he then needs to go get number 57. The angle to get there is much easier for him than it would be if it was the center having to go get number 57 going the opposite direction. If the play was to the strength, there's a 3-tech there over the guard, and that guard would be occupied. So the center would have to go get number 57. By formation, by alignment, he's behind that guy, versus if you flip it, that guard is head up with that linebacker that he has to go get. While it's by no means a devastating block here, the guard gets enough of Mosley, which forces him to tackle Jonathan Taylor at an angle instead of squaring him up. Taylor breaks that tackle and bounces outside. Running weak gives the Colts and Jonathan Taylor good angles to work off of their combos and with their uncovered backside linemen. Taylor is great at feeling out the holes and working into the B gap before bouncing outside. Ryan Kelly, the Colts center, has some deficiencies, but he's been reliable on zone scheme runs where he's overtaking on the 1 technique. Combining him and Quintin Nelson together as they combo up has become a bread and butter play for Indy. They both do a great job here with the overtake and Nelson climbing to the linebacker. The backside guard has gotten onto the backside linebacker and Taylor's able to weave through traffic for an explosive run. When they've had true shades with the defensive tackle aligning tight over the center, Quintin Nelson has abandoned the more conventional pushover technique where the guard will bump the tackle onto the center, and instead Nelson will swim behind that block to get to the playside linebacker. That again gives him a better angle to get that player rather than being in a trail position and catching their shoulder from behind. To really stress the edges, the Colts will line up in a condensed formation and work pin and pull schemes with their receivers cracking down on the defensive linemen. That immediately gets their tackle and Jonathan Taylor out on the edge of the defense on smaller defensive backs. The rest of the line is selling out to hook and seal and prevent pursuit from the backside. The tackle wraps around the pin from the receiver and the ball is pitched out to Taylor. The Colts will also sprinkle in other gap scheme runs like power or counter. They brutalized the Bills on what was almost a double trap look where they're kicking both the 1 technique and the 3 technique. The 1 tech is kicked out by the guard like a normal trap play. Usually people, at least I prefer to trap the 3 technique so that you have better angles on getting to the linebacker, but the Colts are accounting for that in a different way. The center is going directly for the linebacker, but that leaves a lot of space for the 3 technique to make a play. So Indianapolis crunches their H-back to kick that guy from the outside. That's a pretty unique angle and spot to get kicked from if you're a defensive tackle. The 1 tech and 3 tech are both sealed inside with those kick-out blocks, and the center is getting immediately up to the linebacker. So that leaves Jonathan Taylor with a one-on-one on a corner outside that's coming in to fill. Taylor has a great feel for where the lane's going to open up and doesn't panic with unblocked 3 techniques in his face. Taylor and the Colts gash the Bills a number of times with this play. Add in that the Colts also run a good amount of split zone with the H coming across to get the defensive end, and the play looks awfully similar to all their zone scheme runs. When it all looks similar, that makes it very difficult to defend. Taylor is playing great on an individual level. He's routinely breaking arm tackles, has great patience and vision, and is one of the most versatile backs in the league. But the scheme up front is also operating at a high level. Indy's run blocking is getting better and better, and the team is starting to find its identity with Wentz behind center. The Colts are making a strong push for the playoffs, and the run game is only just getting started. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching all the way through. Make sure you drop a comment. Let me know someone, a scheme, idea, person who you want to see broken down here in the future. I'm also releasing a speaking football course that goes over the basics of the language of football, what techniques are, what alignments are. So if you're interested in that, check out the link in the description.